Hello my children, and apparently YXHim according to my recent analysis of my subscribers. Lord Bathory, I wanted to start off tonight's video with a bit of a question for you guys. Do you prefer that I record these videos in the Baphomet green screen setup, or just in my bedroom like I used to do when I first started doing shit on YouTube? Just comment whether or not you'd like either the Baphomet backdrop or the bedroom. The only thing that I'm really conflicted about here is just the wall that my backdrop is. I just don't like how blank it is. I mean, I have posters, but it still feels pretty blank, I guess. I don't really know. If there are people in the audience that have a poster that they don't use and they want to send it to me, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Just having a little piece of you in like each of my videos would be a kind of cool dynamic to have, I guess. So for those of you who don't necessarily pay attention to the community tab, I made a post a few days ago where I talked about one of my videos unfortunately being flagged for hate speech, and that was the Did Jesus Rise from the Dead video, where I talk about whether or not Satan, I guess, ate ass. I guess my only kind of response, without going off on a rant, is I really just want to make fun of the poor little baby that got offended by that video. If you were offended by a video spreading love and solidarity because I used the name Satan, you really need to reevaluate your priorities here. It's because of this hate speech incident, I decided to bless you guys with some diabolical, satanic black metal recommendations. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some black metal recommendations that are so evil, so blasphemous, and just so satanic, it'll make your local Bible thumpers die of a heart attack. You'll actually feel Satan coming inside of you. The first album that I'm going to recommend here is Immortal's Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism, released in 1992. It is a release from the second wave that I felt fit perfectly in this list, but also wasn't kind of like a basic bitch pick like the Mysteries Dumb Satanas. Diabolical Full the fuck. Being Immortal's kind of full-length debut, this album is a little bit more slower compared to the stuff that would come after this release. Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism talks about embracing the ways of evil and Satan. It also goes all in with like just his evil atmosphere overall, immersing you in just a very cold, very winter forest type backdrop. What I also love is that despite all these evil sounding lyrics, Immortal does have like a self-awareness about this kind of evil image. I guess it could be said for like the rest of the bands and just a lot of black metal bands overall, but like when the corpse paint is on, of course they're gonna put on a show, but they don't genuinely hold themselves up as like satanic religious leaders. If you're looking for a black metal release that's more from like the first wave, then I'd highly recommend that you listen to Bulldozer's Day of Wrath, which released in 1985. This was a first wave release that I felt deserved to be mentioned that wasn't just Venom, Bathory, or Celtic Frost, even Sarcophago, respectfully. The Day of Wrath as an album features a very particular kind of Satanism you don't really see in a lot of black metal kind of projects, and that's like I guess the carnal desire aspect of Satanism. When phrases like bestial or carnal lust are used in black metal, it's mostly in the context of things like cutting yourself or for some reason eating infants in the name of Satan. But the Day of Wrath sings about embracing things like sin and indulging your carnal desires, which is an aspect for some branches of Satanism like LaVeyan Satanism. This album sings about things like sex, alcohol, and just overall being a deviant despite religious abstinence. The next release that I'm going to be recommending here is Mutilation's Destroy Your Life for Satan EP. This is a much more considerably recent and much more raw release from anything from Mutilation's discography. This EP's version of like already established Mutilation tracks has a much more hateful and angrier tone compared to the full-length like variation. Now don't get me wrong, I love everything from Mutilation, but I particularly like this EP because of its prominent bass frequencies. It like gives each of these tracks a much more intimidating presence compared to a lot of the full-length versions of like these songs. Next up is Masochist's Frost of the Diabolical Forest demo, which was released in 1993. For those who don't know, or for some reason haven't watched my USBM Posers Guide, actually please don't, it's a really shitty video. Masochist is an underground American black metal band which was very crucial to the Michigan black metal scene in the early 1990s. Their satanic, lyrical content is much more on the blasphemous side compared to a lot of typical European black metal bands. They do mention Satan a lot throughout their music, but a lot of their lyrics are also focused on just desecrating symbols of God and Jesus. I particularly love their use of synths throughout their songs, especially in this demo in particular, because it adds another layer to their evil atmosphere. I also particularly love the Chort's vocals, may he rest in hell, respectfully. They just come off as extremely angry, extremely hateful, extremely violent, and it just complements the instrumentals perfectly. If you're looking for a satanic black metal release that's more on the melodic side, then I'd highly recommend you listen to Obtained Enslavement's Witchcraft, which released in 1997. This album, and Obtained Enslavement in particular, focus on doing things like turning away from God in order to embrace Satan. This album also talks about things like learning the ways of witchcraft and black magic, and using all these kind of dark powers to unleash the forces of hell upon the world as like a sort of way of being the ultimate desecration of God's creation. The next album that I'm going to be recommending to you guys is actually one of my all-time favorite black metal releases, and that is Culti de Ghoul's Henbane, which released in 2013. This is a newer black metal release that has the right balance of instrumentals and atmosphere. This album goes back and forth between unleashing diabolically fast riffs while also having slower moments throughout its songs that lets you kind of take in the ritualistic atmosphere that it's putting you in. This album, and Culti de Ghouls overall, has like my all-time favorite lyrics out of any of my picks for this video, and just any of my black metal picks, period, because they read like outright genuine satanic rituals. Like, they're trying to legitimately summon Satan from hell. What makes these lyrics even stronger is, of course, the vocals. Every scream, grunt, and just ritualistic chant from this album feels chilling to listen to without them coming off as corny or just trying too hard to be scary. If it wasn't for the fact I wanted to make this video a list, I would recommend this album alone as like the one true diabolical satanic black metal album. The next album I'd like to recommend to you guys is Nifelheim's Self-Titled, which released in 1995. This band in particular is a black thrash band, so this is going to be a recommendation for people who are more so looking for an album that's focused on an onslaught of just really fast guitar playing. This album has a general focus on Satanism, no shit, diabolical satanic black metal, but the lyrics of this album and just Nifelheim overall are either not transcribed yet, or my research is just really shitty for this band. And then my last pick for you guys is going to be Blasphemy's Blood Upon the Altar demo, which released in 1989. Blasphemy overall has a much more brutal take on black metal, mixing the violence of death metal with the evil of black metal. You can really hear this hybrid of genres, especially in the vocals, because they sound as if they're coming more from the gut rather than from the throat, like your typical screechy black metal vocal. It has your typical lyrics of ritualistic sacrifice, hail Satan and all that shit, but it also introduces a much more gorier image to the black metal sound, such as corpses, guts, sodomy, and a little bit of vomit. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. I really hope you guys liked my pick for today's video. If there are any other satanic black metal bands or just black metal albums that I didn't mention, please drop them in the comments below. Give some recommendations to people who are new to the genre, recommendations to people who need new music to listen to, and just overall stuff for me to listen to, because getting recommendations from you guys is like one of my favorite things about having this channel. Just discovering new music and new bands to appreciate under this just horribly evil genre of music. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with somebody who is looking for some new black metal recommendations. Hell, even share this with someone who says that they like all kinds of music, so you can really test their limits. Or even share this video with a Bible thumper who's gonna die of a heart attack from just watching this video and watching me alone. A brown, gay, Asian metalhead who listens to satanic music. That's all I really have to say. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you all in the next video.